What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. My name is Shaun Meehan, and joining me, as always, is my partner in crime, Ciara Lawler. Connor, how's it going?
I don't like it when you mispronounce my name.
I'm taking the bit. I'm reclaiming the bit, quite frankly.
So this is Hero or Zero, Shaun. I mean, this is the show. I'm going to do the intro. I was going to throw it to you.
Just take over. It's fine.
It's Friday, and nobody else can see this, but Shaun is wearing like a Hawaii shirt, like a flowery...
I'm casual mode right now,
and
Connor.
it's like 3 buttons down. It's almost too low.
It's just the right amount of low, in my opinion.
It's just giving away enough, but keep it a little to yourself.
A little tease for the fellas, that's what I like to call it.
So this is Hero or Zero, where every single week we choose one comic book character, we talk their good points and their bad points, and we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. So normally I choose DC characters, Shaun normally chooses Marvel characters, and last week I covered another DC character who was, of course, Shaun, amazing. So I'm assuming this week Marvel have come in middling.
Have they?
I would say a middling shit character. Ha ha ha.
Connor, I am going to name this character, and you're going to be your genuine response is going to be, "Oh, really? You're doing that character?"
Oh no!
Because I am covering Radioactive Man.
Oh really? You're doing that character? The goggles, they do nothing.
Different Radioactive Man, Connor.
I assumed.
There's a Marvel version of Radioactive Man, objectively much more interesting. So
why do you use horses to be cows? They look more like cows.
Listeners, what I've done here is that I've accidentally set up Connor to do a series of Simpsons Radioactive Man jokes throughout this whole episode. I'm sorry, I genuinely didn't foresee this.
I think I've used my 2.
Oh, okay, grand, we got him out of the way early.
I'm going to go. I could easily do another few, but I'm going to let you go because, I mean, we could be here all day and I'll just quote every line.
That's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
So, starting off, early life, Dr. Chen Liu was a respected nuclear physicist for the People's Republic of China, Connor.
Okay. Can I have a prediction? I don't want to cut you off too early.
First sentence, but go ahead.
Don't fucking tell me science experiment gone wrong.
Well.
Yes! Let's go.
After Thor, the god of thunder, thwarted a Chinese military incursion into India, the Chinese government called upon its scientists and strategists for a way to retaliate against Thor. So,
of all the fights to pick,
you pick a god.
Like, pick on Iron Man even. Like, at least you have some hope. Like, you can nuke Iron Man. But what are you going to do to Thor?
Well, that's the thing. So they need a specialist. And Chen Liu had been experimenting for several years with a way of harnessing nuclear radioactivity to induce superhuman powers in human beings.
And you know what? I bet there's nobody else to do the experiments on.
Oh, how? God, okay, so Chen Liu volunteered to become China's human weapon against Thor.
Of course. Guys, nobody else should have to go through these experiments I've designed. I'm going to do it.
He did also have his own aspirations of world conquest, but that's by the by.
I mean, to be fair, if you can defeat Thor, world conquest is fairly easy.
Pretty much, yeah. And because then it's Earth, Asgard, everything becomes yours. So, having already spent months immunising himself against the harmful effects of radiation, Chen Liu exposed himself to massive doses of specific particle radiation, thereby mutating his body. Now, I want you to imagine, say around the 60s or 70s, a man doses himself with potentially lethal amounts of radiation. What do you think that man ends up looking like, Connor?
60s or 70s?
Yeah.
George Clooney, maybe.
Oh, sorry, no, not appearance-wise. I mean, colour and light emitted from his body at all times.
Oh, it's either... Is it bright yellow or bright green?
It's a bright yellow-green.
Yes!
So, after impressing his superiors with a demonstration of his new powers, Chen Liu
so
began...
bright.
So, he lights up a room.
We all need sunglasses now after talking to him.
We all have various diseases from being near you.
I feel itchy.
So he started calling himself the Radioactive Man. So the Radioactive Man was then smuggled into New York City, where he battled Thor. But Thor used a massive vortex to send Radioactive Man back to China before he could...
You know what? That's worse. That's a worse way to lose a fight. When the gutter guy is like, I'm not even going to beat you up. I'm just going to send you home. Just like, this is not for you, lad.
It's like if you were about to fight someone and they called you a taxi and put you in and paid for it.
Like, there's no point for us doing this.
So, after going back to China, Radioactive Man went into hiding until Baron Zemo located him.
Oh.
And enlisted him into a new criminal organisation, the first iteration of the Masters of Evil.
What would they be good or
they're on the fence, quite frankly.
They're really sitting in a flagpole there. Right,
they're really coming down hard.
We're masters of evil. Don't have any fucking good ideas, right? This is evil.
So at this time, Radioactive Man was no longer serving China's communist leaders. And then Masters of Evil, of course, were defeated by the Avengers, and they were all thrown into prison. Masters of Evil, by the way, imagine the Sinister Six, but just for the Avengers. It's just like a group of enemies that get together.
So Spider-Man has one team of 6 against him, and then the whole Avengers have a team of 6 against them.
Yep.
Seems unfair.
Look, it's not a fair... To be fair, it's not a fair fight for the Masters of Evil, because, like, Baron Zemo, just a dude.
Thor, not just a dude.
Not a bit more than one regular dude. So, after breaking out of prison, Radioactive Man fled to communist-controlled Vietnam, where he briefly teamed... He does... Well, Connor, listen in, because he teams up with Titanium Man and the third Crimson Dynamo, and they form a group called the Titanic 3.
Pretty good name.
So they no longer wanted to be considered criminals. And so in communist-controlled Vietnam, the Titanic 3 instead acted to punish criminals. So this is where Radioactive Man starts to turn, and he's not so much of an enemy anymore, because... relations with China were slightly improving at the time that they were writing these comics, and so they were like, "Oh, okay, we can't have them just be the villain.
Now we got to move on to the Russians."
It's peak Russian enemy time.
Cold War's going on, boys.
So eventually, the Radioactive Man was contacted by criminal scientist Elias Starr, otherwise known as Egghead, and he agreed to join another incarnation of the Masters of Evil.
Have you done a Hero Zero on Egghead?
I have not.
He's just a man with a big egg-shaped head, isn't he?
He is, and he makes a lot of egg-based puns. There's not a lot to the report, I'll be honest.
It's like arm fall off boy for me. And like every week I'm like, will I do it? But then I'm like, it's a paragraph of there's a guy and he can take off his arm and beat you to death with it, but then he just puts it back on.
Yeah, there's a whole load of characters like that, especially if you get into like the X-Men. There's a whole load of like weird powers that just exist.
Wasn't there that guy that turned himself into ice cream to attack the X-Men?
Yeah, there's that one guy that just has loads of excess skin. His name is Skin.
Pretty good name.
Pretty good name. Pretty apt. Really describes the powers. Really the toothbrush of X-Men names. So after Ant-Man, Dr. Henry Pym defeated this iteration of the Masters of Evil single-handedly, the Radioactive Man was deported by the United States government.
Once again, that's worse than losing the fight. Like, you have to go home. There's nothing more for you here.
He doesn't even get to hang out with his new villain friends.
In jail.
Just, playing cards and playing harmonica, all that kind of thing.
Well, that's what jail is. I mean, we assume.
Of course, he came back to America at some point and captured Spider-Man for his experiments.
Okay, this is it. This is it. He's finally hit the big time. He's gotten Spider-Man.
Well, actually, he discovered that his radioactive powers could temporarily cancel out Spider-Man's powers because the spider that bit Peter Parker was radioactive.
Oh, shit. So you're telling me he's just beating up a child?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, imagine the kid from X-Men The Last Stand. Radioactive Man is like that, but just for Spider-Man.
By the way, love the niche reference that not everyone's going to get, but the kid can take away people's powers.
That would have been a more apt way to describe it, I will say.
But I love the idea that, like, he should be, like, Osborn, like Norman, should be onto him. Get him into a room and just beat the shit out of Peter Parker repeatedly.
Just have him stand there in the corner while Norman
and just watch
Peter Parker
with a crowbar.
Well,
please, Norman, stop.
On the subject of Norman Osborn, Connor, Norman Osborn recruited Chen Lu into the Thunderbolts, which is like Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad.
He's very much a team hopper.
He likes to move around. They really don't know what to do with him on his own.
He joins a team. They don't really have any ideas for plot, and then I assume they go, well, we can throw him into that other team.
Well, usually they just go, well, we'll put him back in China for a while.
And we'll bring him back out when we need another member.
Yeah. So he joined the Thunderbolts for a while. He because a group called the Fathom Five, which were like Atlantean villains, attacked China. It was a whole thing. So many of my reports, by the way, include the line, "It's a whole thing."
You say the most batshit stuff, like this group, a trio, terrible trio they were called, they blew up Earth. Anyway, look, it was a whole thing. But anyway, right,
it's back now, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're moving on.
So the Thunderbolts then made a deal with the Commission on Superhuman Activities to test the new Avengers. So basically they were just
fight them.
Hired in to fight the new Avengers for training.
Such a shit deal.
But like when you're a villain and you're like, hey, you could be pardoned if you just let Captain America punch you for a bit.
Oh, it's like Suicide Squad style.
Yeah, like it gets him into the good books. And so like this is where Radioactive Man, he becomes more on the side of not good, but he's like a neutral kind of thing.
Right.
So then this Marvel Civil War event happened. It was a whole thing. And Chen Lu helped Hank Pym and Reed Richards build a holding prison for superpowered individuals. So they built this in the negative zone, and because Radioactive Man is an accomplished scientist and physicist, he was the natural next choice after Hank Pym and Reed Richards. Two smart men, two bastards.
That's pretty... Yeah, but is he a bastard by association?
He is, but he's
ironically, weirdly, he's the best man in that room.
I was trying to figure out a way to phrase that. Of the three of them, he's probably the nicest.
As a man, he's the nicest of the three.
Radioactive aside. So the Thunderbolts reformed after the Civil War and became kind of superhuman hunters. So they would hunt down unregistered superpowered individuals.
And who's in the team, if you don't mind me asking, or do you even know?
It's
for this run.
For this run, I'm not entirely sure. He does have a relationship with... Oh, I forget what her name is. But it's a lot of... Anyone who's on Tony Stark's side in Civil War, generally, if they weren't a mainline Avenger, they kind of deviated into the Thunderbolts.
Okay, cool.
So with the Thunderbolts working for the government, Radioactive Man remained voluntarily, basically on loan from the Chinese government, like a soccer transfer. Like he's on loan for a while.
And they're just waiting to send him back any day now.
Oh, it's happening. So this is where he first gets a costume as well, because previously he was just a glowing green, like a Dr. Manhattan, glowing green man kind of a thing.
I was about to say, like, if he has a girlfriend, I've seen Watchmen.
I've seen what happens there.
It's not going to be good.
The director's cut.
It's not going to be good.
Hallelujah. So, as part of his costume, he wore a radiation suit. Now, this was actually part of a public relations plan to make him seem more threatening to villains and things like that.
But also for safety.
But also disguising his Asian features to improve the team's approval numbers in the more racist parts of America. It's not good. It's not good, is it?
Oh, that's The Boys. That's The Boys scene.
It's very The Boys, isn't it?
Oh, no.
Like, it's really horrible.
And that was written into a comic.
That was written into a comic, Conor.
Yeah, that's good.
But then, Radioactive Man was disheartened to learn that his activities with the Thunderbolts were not just a goodwill mission from China. China weren't just like, oh, let's help out America in this. Beijing actively wanted him away from China to avoid any further deaths due to his unstable powers.
Oh, shit. Which, to be fair, throughout this whole report, I've been like, why is he not locked somewhere? Because he's killing loads of people slowly.
Oh, once we get onto powers and abilities, man, he's really powerful but super dangerous.
Like, surely everyone who he knows and loves dies of all sorts of diseases.
Like, literally, like, people can't spend too much time in his presence, or they will get tumours and shit.
Like, we've all seen Chernobyl, the TV show.
Yeah,
like, it's not good.
The news report when that happened.
The news report, I wasn't alive when the news report happened, Sean.
No, but we've seen found footage.
I've seen the footage, but the TV show, very good. What freaked me out the most about that, firefighters, they turn up and they're all grand. They're just like, I feel a bit sick, dead within like 12 hours. Yeah. I'm assuming that's what's happening to every person that this man meets. They're like, yeah, I'm good, dead.
Yeah. Now, a lot of the time it's waved away by being like, they're superpowered, so they can spend longer with him and that kind of stuff. But it's twisted. The last line of the report, a friend of his told him that he was still a favoured son of China, but was not welcome home.
Sounds like me. So, I mean, how do you take that? Like, yeah, we like you, but we don't like you that much.
We're not willing to risk a nuclear meltdown on whatever street you happen to be on the day.
You know what? I can kind of see the logic.
I hate to agree, but I kind of agree.
I mean, it makes sense.
Just lock him in a lead box at the bottom of the ocean, please.
Like, he can kill an awful lot of people.
So, in terms of powers and abilities, his primary power is the ability to absorb and manipulate high levels of radiation. He can manipulate the radiant energies of other superpowered individuals and temporarily shut down their powers.
Oh, shit.
He can also lower the radiation levels within himself, but only for short periods of time. This was so powerful, he wants to use his powers to turn She-Hulk back to human form.
What? Oh,
like, he pulled the gamma out of her body.
And so he could do that for Hulk as well?
Yeah, he can calm down Hulk. Like, not calm down, but he can depower Hulk.
I'm trying to think of other gamma radiation heroes.
Doc Samson.
I'm not going to talk about Doc Samson, but Captain Marvel, she's not radiation.
No. She, there's a beautiful name for what Captain Marvel got her powers from, and I can never remember.
Some weird comic book fucking nuance.
It's like a hyperdrive engine or something like that. Like, it's a lot of bullshit.
There's got to be a few of them from the 60s. They all got, like, they were all just rolling around in nuclear shit just to get powers.
Anyone who gets their powers from radiation, basically, is going to be susceptible to this dude. He can also use radiation emissions to lull people into a state of suggestibility.
What?
So he can basically target radiation at the point of your brain that deals with, like, impulse control and can just make you do whatever he wants you to do. This worked on Thor, by the way.
Oh, shit. Okay.
He has nigh invulnerability. He is bulletproof, slash-proof, and he's immune to high concussive force. So you can't hurt him because he's just radiation. Like, he'll just focus the radiation on where he's getting hit and he won't get hurt there. Phasing negation. So what this is he can determine the frequency at which a body moves.
Oh,
so he can
my God.
manipulate the atoms around you. So you know a character like Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Yeah.
Who can phase through solid objects because her atoms are unstable. While she's halfway through a wall, Radioactive Man can decide, no, you're solid.
And then she'll just die.
She'll just die. She'll just be stuck in the wall and die.
No. Could he take out Doorman?
Jury's out, actually.
Because Doorman makes the door himself.
That's the thing. Doorman isn't actually becoming intangible himself.
He's the door.
Now, do Doorman's powers come from radioactivity, Connor?
Look, it was like episode 5. I cannot... someone go to our website, here'sforhire.ie, search Doorman, And then listen to that Hero Zero and tell me, does it come from nuclear power? That must be like 2018 we did that.
That was early days. Early doors, actually, as it
Early doors. But my favourite bit of doorman, he can only make the door once. Can't go back out through it. So he can get you into the bank safe. You ain't getting back out. You're on your own.
He also can't go through it himself. So
he can't go through. He's just stuck.
He has atomic discharge, so if he was struck with enough force, he would self-detonate with the force of a nuclear bomb.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, why didn't China want him home,
Why would
Connor?
you want to fight him? Because if you win, you also die.
Also, if he absorbs too much radiation, he will self-destruct with the force of an atomic bomb.
So not a lot, too little and too much. Okay.
He has radiological constructs, so he can give physical shape to radiation. So think Green Lantern kind of a thing. He can make himself bigger with radiation. He can make force fields, and he can make little tendrils that come out. He can emit EMPs and just shut down all electronics in the area. And he has superhuman strength, so he can lift up to 2 tons. He also has genius intelligence, and he's one of the world's foremost authorities on the effects of radiation on human anatomy. Now, weaknesses, Connor.
Hopefully this fucking list is long, because I'll tell you something now, this lad is overpowered to the max.
So he emits nuclear radiation at all times.
A weakness is everyone who knows him is dead.
They can only remain within range of him for short periods of time, and that's if he's wearing a full-body null radiation suit.
He didn't start wearing that until at least the late 90s.
Not until the Civil War happened, Connor. He would, and also a weakness, he often goes off like a nuclear warhead if struck with sufficient force.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's great.
Both a power and a weakness, I will say.
Why do people keep inviting him into their team?
I don't know. He's been on so many teams.
If you go into 2 things. 1, you can't hang out with him. Why is he part of the team? 2, you go into a fight, you're shoulder to shoulder with your best pal, with your brethren. He gets 1 punch, you're dead, man.
You don't want to hang around him too long. But just as a bit of trivia, Connor. Radioactive Man has kept account of the people he has killed over his life due to his powers.
Everyone.
Both intentionally and unintentionally.
I mean, how long is that list?
It's gotta keep going. Like, 1 nuclear detonation is all it'll take. And that list is a mile long.
But, like, not even he doesn't even need to detonate, though. He just needs to walk down the street.
Just needs to be around people.
Walk into a shop for 20 minutes. And then everyone in the shop is dead.
He just goes into the cinema and he's just like
just eating his popcorn,
and they just start falling in a circle around him. Like, but as the film goes on,
as it gets longer,
as the epicenter of it. And in terms of the Marvel 1 to 7 power rating system,
7s.
Well, intelligence of 5, so he's very clever.
Pretty good.
Strength of 4, speed of 2. Durability of 6, energy projection of 6, and fighting skills of 3.
2 6s are pretty strong.
2 6s is busted for any other character.
He doesn't need to fight though. Like,
that's the thing.
Because the idea is, if you punch him, like, once again, you still lose. Because if you punch him with a sweet uppercut, oh man, I'm winning. Oh wait, he's gone off. Oh, everyone's dead.
Oh dear, the goggles, they do nothing.
They do nothing.
So yeah, like if you're close enough to fight him, you're probably going to die anyway.
Even if you're close enough for like 5 minutes in the fight, like struggling, like, that can't be good for you.
Not at all. Not at all. You have to burn your clothes after. But I like the fact that he's a scientist first and foremost. Like, he's mostly brought in for his expertise on radiation. And then he just ends up in these little scraps where he might explode. I do quite
enjoy the idea now of him hanging out with Hank Pym and Reed Richards a lot. Maybe just in person.
Maybe just like poisoning them slowly.
He could do the world a lot of good if he got rid of the 2 bastards.
He's around Hank Pym and Reed Richards. He just starts punching himself in the face, just being like, "Go off!"
The women in their lives are like, "Stay there, stay in the room with them. Just 5 more minutes." They
just lock the door, throw the key away.
Yes, here we go.
But that's my report on Radioactive, man, Connor.
Very good, Shaun. Do you want me to take us out?
Yes, please.
So as I mentioned, if you liked what you heard here, we do have a website. It's heroesforhire.ie. You can get access to basically every episode we've ever done up there. You just got to go in and search for a character you like, maybe a hero or zero, and see if we've done them. And if we haven't, we probably will get to them eventually. But we've done quite a few. We also have a
Almost
Patreon,
200.
which we have put up a lot of extra content in the last week on. So we've done, we do movie reviews every single month, and we are currently reviewing Miss Marvel. So our review of episode 3, 4 and 5 came out this week, if you want to get access to that. Shout out to all the patrons, you're all absolute legends.
Heroes, the lot of you. There's also a Real Steel review. Don't know why you're not mentioning the Real Steel review.
I was actively avoiding it, but there's a Real Steel review that we reviewed for Shaun's birthday last month.
Give that a listen, please, because otherwise you'll never let me do it again.
Real Steel 2 coming soon. But we also have Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff is down below if you want to get access to all that. And most importantly, if you could just tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
So I've been Ciara Lawler.
I've been Shaun.
And we shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.